Alright, you are the title. We are here in 2K19. We're going to sit in 2024 or 2025. Depends on how long this takes. But there are no MVPs. Everybody who won MVP before the 2018-19 season is no longer in the NBA. So no LeBron, no Curry, no KD, no Harden, no Westbrook. But as you can see, someone like Jokic is here, for example, because he didn't win MVP yet. And of course, Giannis is here because he didn't win MVP yet. This season he won MVP. And so as the start of the season, he wasn't MVP yet. If anyone wins MVP twice though, because this is only going to be a few years, then they are banned from the league. And so if Giannis comes out and wins 2 straight MVPs just like he did in real life, well then he's done. We're going to simulate these few seasons here and see how it would go without, all the MVPs I just listed. Chris Paul is the 2019 MVP. So without James Harden, 2K still has CP3 doing great with the Rockets, Luka Rookie of the Year, Kawhi DPOY, Raptors 68-14. You'll love to see that. This is how first team looks. This is second team, and this is third team. Dennis Schroeder on All-NBA third team. And we'll look at defense. There you go. 2019 playoffs, no MVPs. Chris Paul is the MVP on the first seed Rockets. Let's get the playoffs started. We'll go round 1. Okay, so it takes forever to sim the playoffs in this game too. It takes forever to do everything in this game, seemingly. The top 2 seeds are still in it though. Round 2, Chris Paul and the Rockets lose to the Spurs. That is huge. Who is on the Spurs is DeRozan and Aldridge, and Pau Gasol take down the MVP in 7. Meanwhile, the 7-seeded Dallas Mavericks make it to the conference final in 2019. They didn't even make the playoffs this year. But Dennis Smith Jr., who is a 80 overall, JJ Barea, Wesley Matthews. They got Steven Adams. All right, don't know who they traded, but they picked up Steven Adams, and Luka is here at an 80. Spurs Mavericks Western Conference Final, Raptors Celtics Eastern Conference Final, and it'll be the Raptors coming back from a 3-1 deficit to beat the Celtics, and it'll be a Raptors Mavs NBA Final. So Raptors making it just like in real life, and the Mavs way ahead of schedule. 37-8-2 in Game 7 for Kawhi. 1-point win. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's get the finals underway. The Toronto Raptors, just like in real life, are the 2019 NBA champions. They defeat the Dallas Mavericks in 5, and so with no MVPs 2019, it'll be the same result, at least in terms of the champion. Raptors win. Mavericks, though, with this edition of the team, did way better than in real life, and so we'll see if by the end of the sim they can get themselves a championship. Oh, I got real draft classes, by the way, and so John Morant and Zion Williamson will enter the league. Of course, as usual, made sure everybody looks exactly like they do in real life. Free agents: Kyrie, Jimmy Butler, DeMarcus Cousins, and Klay Thompson and Kemba Walker. Oh, and DeAndre Jordan's still an 87. Chris Middleton. Okay, those are all the big names. Klay Thompson signs with the Lakers. Cousins goes back to Sacramento. That is ridiculous. DeAndre Jordan to the Pacers. Jimmy Butler to the Warriors. Towns re-signs with the Timberwolves. Kemba re-signs with the Hornets. Middleton back to the Bucks, and Kyrie re-signs with the Celtics. That's 2019 free agency. Let's head to 2020 now. Lakers got Klay Thompson leading the way now. No Achilles injury though, and so we'll see how this goes. And the Warriors got Jimmy Butler leading the way with Draymond Green. That's a heck of a defense. We'll see offensively if they'll be able to get it done. I didn't even really look at the standings last year. I probably should have done that. So I don't even know how good the Warriors were, but I'll look at the standings from here on out. These are the defending champs. Let's get 2020 underway. Giannis is the 2020 MVP. Ja wins Rookie of the Year, averaging 12 a game. Hopefully that changes. Kawhi just won another DPOY, and the Raptors are first again. No, they're not. He just won Coach of the Year. This is first team. This is second team. This is third team. And then this first team defense, second team defense. First seeds are Denver and Philadelphia, 2 future MVPs. Eastern Conference standings look like this. Worst teams are New York. Did Porzingis leave? Or is he still there and they just suck? Okay, no, he's still there. Charlotte, Brooklyn. This is realistic though. No big changes happen. And the Western Conference, this is how the standings look. Warriors are 5th now instead of course, first with Steph and KD. Clippers are down at the bottom. Of course, Kawhi and Paul George aren't here. Bad teams stay bad. Good teams, they just get less good. But nobody has dropped too drastically, except for the Lakers, I guess. But even then, 2019, they didn't make the playoffs. In 2020, they got AD. Of course, in this universe, they don't got AD. AD is over here in the playoffs, though. Let's in this first round. Embiid and the Sixers go 7 with the 8-seeded Wizards, but they win. So do the Nuggets. lose. So does every other high seed, except for the defending champs, who lose in 7. So that's tough. MVP Giannis heads to the Eastern Conference Finals a year before they did. Again, of course, in 2019 they did. Then in 2020 they got smoked by Miami. Miami lost to Atlanta this time. Atlanta was not even in the 2020 playoffs. In real life, who's on here? Trae Young is in 86. They got Jeremy Lin, John Collins. And so this Hawks team better than the real life Hawks team, of course. Even though just like in real life, a year later, the Hawks beat the Sixers. That is tough for them. First seed go out to 4th seed Atlanta. And last year's MVP, CP3, gets swept by Utah. Donovan Mitchell killing it as usual. Conference finals now. The Utah Jazz could make the finals. We'll see what happens. It'll be a Denver-Atlanta finals as the Bucks lose in 7 to Trae Young and the Hawks. Jeremy Lin dropping 21 in Game 7. 4 for 13 from Trae, but it did not matter because they were able to get a 103-94 win. And Jokic and the Nuggets now can get themselves a championship like 3 years early. We'll see what happens. They do. Denver Nuggets 2020 NBA champions. I mean, they made the conference finals in real life, and so you remove, the Lakers. A very realistic outcome for Joker and the Nuggets. 32-10-8 in the closeout Game 6. Gary Harris balling out as well. That is how 2020 goes. 2020 draft, Anthony Edwards to the Knicks, Maxey to the Magic, Halliburton to the Celtics. They must have made a trade so the Celtics get even better. And then LaMelo to the Hornets, just like in real life. The Knicks, they got Ja and Anthony Edwards now, I'm pretty sure. 2020 free agency, Marc Gasol is the biggest UFA in this 2020 class. Going into the 2021 season, Giannis is the reigning MVP. Nuggets are the reigning champions. Chris Paul is MVP again. I honestly did not expect that. Averaging 25 and 12 and a half. Melo's rookie of the year. Those stats are nicer than Jaws were. Kawhi, DPOY again. This is what happens when he plays full season. And the Suns, even though they do not have Chris Paul here in 2021, they are top of the West. This is first team. This is second team. This is third team. This is the Eastern Conference standing. Sixers up top. Worst teams, Brooklyn, Charlotte, and the Knicks. In the West, the Suns and the Rockets. And Cousins, Fox, Bagley, and the Kings. And worst teams are Pelicans, Lakers, Spurs, and Warriors. Pelicans made the playoffs last year. Now they are awful. Let's start the playoffs though. Can two-time MVP Chris Paul finally get a ring? Going up against the defending champions who finished 7th in the first round. I think they were 3rd or 4th last year, but Chris Paul and the Rockets defeat the defending champs. Jamal Murray 5 points, 86 overall. He doesn't show up in the playoffs though. Last season I remember seeing him drop single-digit points as well. And so this Jamal Murray, for whatever reason, does not show up. The first seeded Sixers lost to the 8th seeded Pacers. You hate to see that. Embiid and Simmons choking in the first round this time. Couldn't even make the second round. Giannis and the Bucks finished 7th, but they'll be in the second round anyway. The defending Eastern Conference champs lose in the first round. The Suns almost blew a 3-1 lead. They didn't though, but MVP CP3 has been eliminated by the Kings, and so conference finals, Suns, Kings, and Celtics Raptors. I think Celtics and Raptors played 2019 if I remember correct. Who will make the 2021 NBA Finals? It will be the Kings and Raptors. 2021, a lot of NBA Twitter didn't like Bucks and Suns. They probably won't like Kings and Raptors, but 3rd seed against 5th seed. Raptors were the champs 2 years ago. Kings take down the 1st seeded Suns. Who was even on the Suns? Devin Booker, who is a 94 now. Jabari Parker is an 85. All right. They got TJ Warren. He's how high? 83. Corey Joseph at a 78. Mikal Bridges in the 82. Ayton is 91 overall. All right. So Suns, they got a good team here. It wasn't good enough though to beat the Kings. They got Cousins and Bagley, who's solid overall, and De'Aaron Fox. We saw their roster earlier. And despite adding Tyrese Halliburton, how did he do in his first season? 13 and 3.8. 86 overall. Y'all know how my draft classes work. They increase pretty quickly, especially in a video like this where we're only going to do a few seasons. Marshawn Brooks, 24 points in Game 7. All right. Kings Raptors NBA Finals. Who will win? 2-2, 3-2, and it'll be the Sacramento Kings who win the NBA championship. DeMarcus Cousins Finals MVP, going back to Sacramento and winning the championship with them. Of course, no injuries in this universe, and so this is how things play out. Now, I did say if you won multiple MVPs, you were done. I'm gonna be honest, I did not think Chris Paul would be the one to do it. I thought it would be Giannis or somebody. somebody, just dominating like he does, I think, in 2K20, or like Luka does in later 2K games. But Chris Paul is a 2-time MVP. They never passed the second round, though, without James Harden. And so just because it's Chris Paul, I'm gonna go against what I said before. I'll leave him in there. If he wins another MVP, then he'll be gone. But I honestly thought it would be a more dominant player winning MVP. But it's Chris Paul, and so the rest of the league should be all right. 2021 draft, I just put Cunningham and Barnes because everyone's like the same overall. So Nets get Cunningham, Warriors get Scotty Barnes. 2021 free agency, a bunch of RFAs. Any UFA? It does not look like it. Jabari Parker is the best UFA. Who was he on again? He was on the Suns, yeah. And so we don't care about free agency this year either. On to 2022. These are the defending champions. Solid roster. These are the Knicks, who drafted two, future all-stars. They haven't been good this whole time, though. Lakers, Klay Thompson signing hasn't worked out too well for them. Of course, in real life, Warriors won the chip. I don't believe they'll, be in the running this year, unless Scotty Barnes makes that big of a difference, which is a possibility, but we'll see. Giannis is MVP again, and so you know what? Giannis and CP3 are going next season. Been 4 seasons with only 2 MVPs. Y'all have been too dominant. Scotty Barnes, Rookie of the Year on the Warriors, and so maybe they did better than I thought. We'll see. Kawhi is DPOY again. Trae Young, most improved, went from averaging 20 to 29, 30 pretty much. And Budenholzer is coach of the Magic. This is first team. This is second team. CP3 is still making second team. He dropped an overall now, though, 36 years old. This is third team. Julius Randle is on the Mavericks in 87 overall. The Warriors did end up making the playoffs as an 8th seed. Nuggets are back at first. Suns at second. They were first a few years ago. Defending champs at third. Defending finalists at 6th. Chicago, number 1 seed in the East now. Philadelphia is number 2. Who's on Chicago? Zach LaVine, Wendell Carter. No crazy overalls on this team, so just a really good team, seemingly. They simmed well. All these teams still suck. And in the West, all these teams still suck. 2022 playoffs, see how it goes here. Once again, don't expect the Warriors or the Celtics, considering they're 7th, to, go too far. And the Warriors get swept by the former champion Nuggets. Celtics are in the process of coming back. No, they pushed a game 7 after being down either 3-0 or 3-1, but Philadelphia won. Raptors were swept. See round 2, Suns versus Kings. That was the conference final matchup, I think, last year. And the Kings will win again. They were down 3-2, but they won it in 7, and so it'll be Nuggets and Kings. Or was this the conference final matchup? I don't remember. Both these teams played each other last year, though, I'm pretty sure. It's Orlando and Atlanta, though, in the Eastern Conference final, as Embiid and the Sixers lose again. I'm just realizing MVP Giannis got swept in the first round. That is ultra tough. 31-14-2 was not enough, though. They were smoked. And 2-time MVP Chris Paul also lost in the first round. Conference finals, let's see how it goes. The Nuggets are back in the finals, and they will play the Orlando Magic, who defeat the Hawks in 7. Denver versus Orlando NBA Finals. Nuggets are the first seed. They've won before. I'd say they're the favorite. Orlando, though, they have a nice roster. Maxey, they drafted 2 seasons ago. Yep, 88 overall now. Isaiah Thomas, who's an 85 overall, still in the league, of course. Mo Bamba is at an 89. Aaron Gordon's an 86 as well, playing his, the team that he would win a championship with in real life. 2022 NBA Finals. Denver against Orlando. Orlando up 3-1, and the Orlando Magic will win the 2022 NBA championship. Aaron Gordon, the finals MVP. I did not expect that. The 3rd seed Orlando Magic winning the championship. I mean, they had a good roster. Retirements, is Chris Paul retiring? Nope. And so we're gonna have to kick him out. Giannis and Chris Paul have both become too good for my league. I want it to be competitive, even though they haven't won a championship. Both of them have lost pretty early when they won MVP. Still though, 2 MVPs is too much. Thank you for your time in the NBA, Giannis. These are incredible stats throughout his career, but you're done. And Chris Paul, 17 years of great basketball, 2 MVPs without Harden, no rings though, so you gotta go. 2022 draft, Banchero goes to the Wizards, Holmgren to the Clippers, and Jalen Williams to the Hornets. Will any of these teams do anything now that they got another high pick? Free agency, I see a bunch of RFAs again. Any UFAs? Mitchell Robinson is the best UFA around, so is Dennis Smith, Jabari Parker, and so I don't care too much about those guys, respectfully. We'll just head to next season. This is how the Clippers are looking. Probably won't do anything. These are the defending champs, though. Great roster here in Orlando. I would not be surprised if they went back-to-back. We'll see. Trae Young is the 2022 MVP. We'll see how good the Hawks did. Bryce Hughes is Rookie of the Year. Did I press the right button? 2nd round pick at 85 overall. Come on, computer. Kawhi is finally not DPOY anymore. It's AD this time. And the Suns are top top of the league. This is first team. This is second team. Lonzo Ball's on second team. It's the first time I've seen him. This is third team. This Bryce Hughes guy, I don't know who he is, but he's really good. This is defense, and we're gonna look at defense because I also want to look at rookies. Nope, Paolo and Chet are all here. Just this Bryce Hughes guy is apparently better. It is what it is. 2023 playoffs. The Nuggets are the 7th seed. The defending champions are the 6th seed. MVP Trae Young is first though. We'll see how they do. MVP Trae Young loses to the 8th seeded Raptors in the first round, and so there seems to be an MVP curse going on. Defending Western Conference champs lose in the first round. Defending champs though, they beat the Bulls. Rockets, despite CP3 being gone, they still finished 5th, but they lost in the first round. Sacramento, they won a few years ago, but they lost to DPOY AD, and the first seeded Suns also lose in the first round. So first seeds and MVPs have been struggling. The defending champs get swept by the 7th seeded Celtics, and Minnesota beats New Orleans, so it's a Minnesota-Utah Western Conference final. NBA Twitter casuals won't like that, and a Boston-Toronto Eastern Conference final. We've seen that matchup before. We've also seen Philadelphia lose in the first round before, so Embiid choking, unfortunately, is a thing here in this universe. The Pacers, I see the Pacers like in the second round. They got Oladipo. He's what, 89, Sabonis 85. Oh, DeAndre Jordan, yeah, they signed him in free agency. He's an 88. Pacers got a good team. They can't make like the conference final though. It's always second round. And who's in the T-Wolves? Towns, Wiggins. Oh, they're probably a good overall. 90, yeah. Larry Nance 84. Towns, what, 96. Okay. The Raptors came back from 3-1 down to beat the Celtics again. And so the 2023 NBA Finals will be the Toronto Raptors against the Utah Jazz. This is the Raps' third finals now. Won one and lost one. We'll see how this one goes against the Utah Jazz. Who's on the Jazz? They were the 8th seed. That's crazy. Oh, and so were the Raptors. It's an 8 versus 8 finals. I wonder if this has ever happened before. An 8 versus 8 finals. Mitchell is a 92. Mike Henry undrafted is an 82. Ricky Rubio is an 80. Gobert is a 90. Jay Crowder an 82. Carmelo is here. Did not play. 38 years old, 77, but he's here. Will he get his first ring, or will the Raptors get another one? We'll see. 8 versus 8 finals. It's 2-1, it's 3-1, 3-2, 3-3. And the Toronto Raptors win the NBA championship in 7. Kawhi Leonard, yet another finals MVP. The Raptors have their second ring of the sim. Carmelo retires after losing the finals. Tough for him, couldn't win a chip. Just like in real life, the Spurs draft Wembanyama. That's funny. We'll check out free agents if there is any good UFAs this time around. There hasn't been very many throughout this simulation. Klay Thompson is back in free agency. His tenure with the Lakers was not successful at all. I don't even think they made the playoffs once, and if they did, it was only once. DeAndre Jordan's back with the UFA. He signed with the Pacers. They were all right, nothing special though. Kevin Love is a free agent, been with the Cavs this whole time, haven't done nothing, and that seems to be it. And so Klay and DeAndre are the biggest names at 33 and 34 years old. We'll see where they go. They really just re-signed with the Lakers and Pacers. All right, Kawhi and the Raptors, defending champions yet again. They got Marquise Chris now, Isaiah Taylor. Lowry's probably retired at this point. They've definitely been team of the sim. Kawhi, probably player of the sim, 2 finals MVPs and like a million DPOYs. I pressed the wrong button. 2024, we'll see how I'm feeling by the end of the season on if we're gonna do another season or not, because it takes so long to simulate in this game on console. Trae Young is the MVP. Come on. Got another repeat MVP. That's Wemby, rookie of the year. Looks just like him, of course. AD, another DPOY. Oh my goodness, Nick Nurse and the Atlanta Hawks went 70 and 12. Wow. This is first team. This is second team. Markel Fultz is on there. This is third team, and then we'll look at defense too, because why not? This Bryce Hughes, he was just on Miami last year. He's on Memphis now. Why is he team hopping when he's the reigning rookie of the year? How are you not going to keep the reigning rookie of the year, Miami? Oh, did I look at the standings last year? Probably not. But the Atlanta Hawks finished 70 and 12. Absolutely nuts. Who is the worst team around? It's Milwaukee and the Knicks and the Nets. Hornets. The Magic fell off. They were like champions 2 or 3 years ago, and they still got all the same guys, yet they have now missed the playoffs. West Suns at 63. The Rockets have still stayed in a good spot without CP3. Clint Capella still holding it down, and they picked up Dennis Smith. Nuggets are back good. The Mavericks, they're bad now. Luka is here. He's only at 86. That's tough for them. Julius Randle at an 88. He's still there, but Dennis Smith Jr. was seemingly a big loss for them. The Warriors, they're bad. Despite drafting Scotty, Spurs, horrible still. Lakers, though, finally made the playoffs. Lonzo and Clay. The defending champions are, the Raptors, who finished 8th again. Utah, they completely missed the playoffs. The 70-12 Hawks against the defending champions. They're down 3-2. Oh my, okay, no, that's the Celtic. 3-3. Who will win? Okay, the 70-12 Hawks pull it off. That's actually quite the series. The 70-12 Hawks against the defending champions who finished at the 8th seed. 47 for Trey in Game 7 to ensure that their 70-win season didn't end in the first round. They move on. We'll go to the second round. Wait 10 minutes for the second round to simulate now. The Hawks went to Game 7 again, but they won again, beating Chicago 31-3 in Game 7 this time for Trey. So the 70-12 Hawks have made things hard on themselves, but they are in the Eastern Conference Final. Minnesota and Phoenix, they have both been into the Western Conference Final before, I believe. Philadelphia, this might be their first Eastern Conference Final, honestly, because they always lose early. The Hawks will make the finals. I'm pretty sure they made it before, and so this is their second finals appearance, and they will be playing the Phoenix Suns. They have maybe made it before. I don't remember. I know they made the conference finals before, but Devin Booker is this Josh Jackson, who's an 88, 85 TJ Warren at 8 in his high, right? Yeah, 93. Great Suns team here. They made the final. Oh, it's first seed against first seed, so yeah, as it should be. 63 wins against 70 wins. The best two teams in the league. This is probably the best finals matchup we've had this whole sim. Let's see how it goes. Phoenix against Atlanta. NBA Twitter will probably like this matchup. The Atlanta Hawks win it. All right, you'll love to see it. Trae Young and the 70-win Atlanta Hawks cap off their incredible season with a championship. You'll love to see it. Trae Young becomes the first MVP of the simulation to go on to win the championship. Legendary season they just had with Nick Nurse as the coach. But if we're going to stick to the rule, which I think we got to, two-time MVP means Trae Young, your career is over. Capped it off in a fantastic way though. Balled out in the playoffs. Terrific stats here. Certified Hall of Famer, two-time MVP, 70 wins, and the championship. Great career, Trae, but it's time to go. We'll do one last season just cause. Brandon Ingram looks to be the best free agent. Jabari Parker's at an 87. Paul George is there too. Mitchell Robinson as well. Jared Allen at an 85. Brandon Ingram, I'm pretty sure, stays with the Lakers. Let's just sim to next season. 2025, look at how stacked the Celtics are, and they really haven't won yet. My goodness. Halliburton was drafted in, 2020. 4 seasons, have not won anything. On paper, this team is terrific, though. We are going into the last season of the sim. These are the defending champions, of course, without their two-time MVP, because 2 MVPs means you're done. And so there will be a new MVP this season. Who will it be? Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's go. 4 seasons later, Nikola Jokic is the MVP. AD another DPOY, and Mike Malone and the Nuggets are the best team in basketball. This is first team, this is second team, this is third team, and sure, we'll do defense for the last time, then more defense for the last time. Rookies, we don't care about it at this point. Boston, top of the East now. Atlanta, without Trey, they go from 70 wins to 51, but that's still third. The Knicks are finally in the playoffs. This might be the first time, and these are all the trash teams. The Raptors are finally out. Kawhi, 88 now, going down in overall. So the Raptors' time looks to be over. Got teams like Charlotte, though, they've never even started. This is the Western Conference. Nuggets up top. Timberwolves, Suns, Rockets, those are still the top teams. Lakers, 47 wins. This might be the highest they've ever been. Still don't expect too much from them. Utah is back in the playoffs. They made the finals as the 8th seed. Wemby and the Spurs just barely missed the playoffs. Sacramento, they won championship years ago. They're done. Warriors are way down at the bottom. Jimmy Butler going to the Warriors did absolutely nothing. Same with Scotty Barnes. Always putting up nice numbers and 89 overall now. Warriors have not been the same since Steph and Clay were kicked out of the league for being MVPs. 2025 playoffs, let's get through this quickly. It's not gonna lie, I am now in a time crunch, even though I started recording this hours ago, but that is how long this damn game takes to simulate. The Celtics, 1 seed Celtics with their stat roster lose to the 8 seed Heat. I don't know what's wrong with these guys. Tatum, Brown, Kyrie, Halliburton, they cannot win. Like, this is ridiculous. 97 Kyrie, 91 Halliburton, 89 Gordon Hayward is still there, 92 Jaylen Brown, 87 Terry Rozier, 95 Jason Tatum, and Marcus Smart's still here too at 86. This team has not won a thing. I think they made the finals in the first year of the sim. They have not done a thing since. It is crazy. Atlanta, they beat the Knicks, so Edwards and Ja in the playoffs for the first time can't do nothing. John Morant, he's 87. These numbers are not numbering though. I did a solid job with the player creation and what he's good at, but this John Morant, I guess ball-headed added jaw, all the athleticism goes out the window. Anthony Edwards averaging 13 a game. He's efficient. It also might though be because he's playing with Porzingis and Tim Hardaway. Either way, Knicks have sucked this whole time. They lose in the playoffs. Hawks move on. Suns move on. Timberwolves move on. Let's go second round. Hawks beat the Magic in 7. That was a good series. 2 former champions, even though the Magic were 500. Sheldon Mack and the Atlanta Hawks got the job done. Minnesota beat Phoenix. I think they've done that before, or maybe they haven't, don't remember. Denver versus Minnesota. I think this has been a matchup before, or maybe it hasn't, but Denver has won before. And Atlanta against Miami. Who is on the Heat? Emmanuel Mudiay. Hey, this is quite realistic. Tomfoolerying their way to, a deep playoff run as the 8th seed. Can they make the finals? They were 38-44. That's ridiculous. Can they make the finals against the defending champs Atlanta Hawks without Trae Young? No, they can't do it, as the Hawks make it back to the finals. And so no Trae Young, no problem. Kevin Huerter, who's at 84, John Collins 88, Bogdanovich 81, 79. So they don't even, hey, this team, I guess just the chemistry is through the roof. These guys are terrific. Minnesota beats Denver though. I did not expect that. Towns and Wiggins, who are high overall. Is Devontae Graham a high overall? No, he's 82. Anybody else? Ntilikina, did he increase? 86. Okay. And so it's an Atlanta, Minnesota NBA Finals. If this was real life, NBA Twitter would probably really love this, especially Anthony Edwards being in it. But here in 2K25, or no, not 2K25, here in 2025 and 2K19, who will win? It will be the Atlanta Hawks. They repeat as champions even without Trae Young. Win 70 games, but your MVP leaves. The very next season, you go win 50 and still win the championship. Let's check out the final stats now. The MVPs, not as many different MVPs as I wanted, but it is what it is. Chris Paul, then Giannis, then Chris Paul again, then Giannis again, then Trae Young twice in a row. Of course, by the end of the sim, all 3 of these guys were out of here. Then Nikola Jokic winning MVP in 2025. 2 of these MVPs are champions. The other 2, of course, are not. Rookie of the Year, these are the Rookie of the Years, I guess. None of them did anything really. DPOY was Kawhi 4 times in a row, then AD 3 times in a row. Maybe I'll do a video with changing the DPOY. Let me know in the comments if y'all want that. And the past champions, the Raptors beating the Mavericks in 5, then the Nuggets beating the Hawks in 6, then Sacramento Kings beating the Raptors in 6, DeMarcus Cousins winning Finals MVP there, then the Magic beating the Nuggets in 5, then the Raptors winning their 2nd title beating the Jazz in 7, and then the Atlanta Hawks beating the Suns in 5, Trae Young Finals MVP. And then the very next year, even after Trae Young is gone, the Hawks still win again, beating the Timberwolves in 7. And so Raptors made 3 finals, Nuggets made 2, and the Hawks also made 3 finals. League leaders, points leaders look like this. Look at DeMarcus Cousins. Oh yeah, because obviously Curry and KD were gone, and so Cousins averaged 28 on the Warriors. Biggest number though was Trae Young with 34. But yeah, Giannis and Trae Young really did dominate. Trae Young though, he's got a ring. Rebounds look like this. Assists look like this. Chris Paul, of course, getting all the assists before we kicked him out of the league. Deals look like this. Blocks look like this. And minutes look like that. And so players of the sim, it's got to be Trae Young and Kawhi. Kawhi, 2 rings, 2 Finals MVPs, and 4 DPOYs. Trae Young has 1 ring, 1 Finals MVP, because of course he was kicked out of the league right after. 2 MVPs though, 3 scoring titles. And so players of the sim, I'd say, are Kawhi and Trae Young. Shout out, CP3 and Giannis for the MVPs. They didn't win though, like Kawhi and Trae Young did. Also, shout out to DeMarcus Cousins, of course, for going back to Sacramento and winning a title. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. That will be it. So leave a like if you enjoyed, comment, subscribe, post in the comments what other type of videos I should make, because there will be more awesome videos like this coming. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see y'all later.